Hi, today we're going to be taking a look at Disney Adventures from 1997. This is a magazine that was on grocery store racks, etc., from the early 90s, I think through the 90s, and it was put out by Disney Publishing. They had also done comics for about 2 or 3 years, but this is the remaining thing that survived for years and years and years. It was a fun little magazine for kids and teenagers, mostly tweens, about all the pop culture of the time. And this is like the most 90s thing. It's like, to paraphrase Belloc from Raiders of the Lost Ark, I lived through the 90s, but this is the 90s. Incredible stuff. We're going to be going through it page by page and take a look at all the craziness of 1997. All right, special superhero issue of Disney Adventures from 1997. Batman and Robin. Of course, Will Smith, Men in Black, that's coming out this summer. Titanic comes out later that year. As we go through this magazine, you're going to see that there's a lot of excitement around the movies and offerings of that year, the summer season. And that doesn't really happen much anymore. Even though Men in Black was based on a comic, it's a comic that a lot of people hadn't really seen before. And Hercules, of course, is an old legend, but this movie is fresh and brand new. It's coming out in theaters, sneak peek, special ticket, pretty cool stuff. It's funny that there were Hercules centric magazines for this, but they're highlighting Batman and Robin here. And it's funny, it's a Warner Brothers thing. This is before Marvel got bought by Disney. But here's a Cheetos commercial with Chester Cheetah. Do they still have that guy around anymore? Here's the editorial in the beginning. Baseball card ad. And here's the table of contents. Jackie Chan, big in the 90s. Linda Carter, still a fresh image people know, even though this is about 20 years after her TV series. Here's the Chris O'Donnell, Robin, Nightwing, whatever he was in that movie. Oreo commercial with some sort of Universal tie-in. And it is for kids, so there's some educational components here. So here's a little bit about science, etc. It's just stories being told by kids here. Here's the hot and not list. This was a big thing in the 90s. I don't know if magazines still do this or even if there are magazines anyways, but what's hot in summer 97 is Bone Thugs and Harmony, Jim Carrey, pizza, which you'd think is perennial, and hockey somehow. I mean, it's hot where I am, but I don't know about the rest of the United States. And not New Kids on the Block are not hot in 1997. JTT, liver and onions for some reason, and tennis. I don't... whatever. These hot not lists are so stupid. Warning, you may disagree. Well, thanks. Here's some slang of the 90s. Raspy. Macked out. All dressed up. Frosted Flake. A show off. How many of these still exist? I got macked out, I guess. Doug is big at this point. I have my opinions about animation of this time and how it ruined animation today, but I'll leave them be. Here's a bit about Jell-O. All sorts of weird things for kids to read. Some alien invasion thing with all sorts of alien like products and stuff with grays. Aliens were big around this time. X-Files, of course, was big. It was probably petering out at this point. Here's a nice little calendar for you. Robin Williams turns 45. Holy crap. I'm older than Robin Williams was back then. You've got the Batman VHSs, get them all on video. Of course, if you got all these VHSs, you wouldn't have the complete series, and of course, later on, DVD and Blu-ray and stuff would come out. Of course, Keenan and Kel are big at this point. I live in Canada, and I'm pretty sure this show never came here. I knew of it from E.T. and stuff, and of course, I saw the Good Burger movie, which would have been its own distribution in theaters and stuff. But I regret never having seen this show. I don't even think it came on home video, did it? Like, I would totally get it. Anyways, here's gossip. Attention, George Lucas, we know you've started to... Yeah, so Star Wars was the talk of the town. This is 97. George Lucas is making Phantom Menace. They want Elijah Wood. And Elijah Wood is like... but I probably wouldn't have a chance at being any of the main characters. So I guess well, wait your turn. You're going to be in something else. Lacey Chabert, or Chabert, I don't know, was in Party of Five. Pretty big stuff. Yeah. And she's in some sci-fi thing. I don't know what that is. I'd have to look it up. Oh, she was in Lost in Space. Yeah, okay, I remember that. She looked awful in that. She looked like she didn't wash her hair in that movie. Here's Eddie Murphy, who came back with The Nutty Professor. He was in a bunch of duds before that. And he's filming Dr. Dolittle. Here's Spice Girls. I don't know if that's before or after the movie. And in theaters, Buddy. One of many monkey movies that people have just forgotten. So there you go. What else? One Fine Day. I remember that. Zeus and Roxanne. I think that's a dog movie, if I'm not mistaken. Star Trek First Contact, May 20th. Mars Attacks, June 17th. That's a great movie. I love that movie. In bookstores. All these books here. Here's celebrities trying their hand at sports. Will Smith with his famous golf habit. Matthew Perry, of course, loved hockey. Rosie O'Donnell trying to play baseball, I guess. What's this Ask Liz thing? It's just some sort of advice column or something, or VIP pass. You're saying, every Sunday night I watch television hero Xena Warrior Princess. If it's a repeat, I record it. So far I have about 16 and a half hours of Xena. I'd like to ask if you could possibly get an interview with Lucy. Okay, so they're just asking for favors in the entertainment world. I'm sure Xena was on one of these. So here's a whole write-up about Batman and Robin. I think at this point, it's probably come out already. I think these are usually May releases. I'm not sure. I think that this movie made money, just didn't make a lot of money, because they made it for so much. But it's much derided, right? George Clooney may have been new to the Batmobile, but reliable. Chris O'Donnell was standing close by to show him all the bat ropes. Sure. And it's a lot of fluff piece stuff. Yeah, Chris's favorite superhero is Spider-Man, other than Robin. George says the Invisible Man because he's super clueless. Favorite villain, Chris's, is Catwoman. George loves the Mad Hatter. That's cool. He's got a cool hat. Yeah. And other questions I don't care about. Yeah, meet the rest of Batman. So, I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger was a huge star at this point, and he's in this big ensemble thing. Now, Alicia Silverstone is Batgirl with heels. And Uma Thurman is Poison Ivy. There you go. This is a subscription slip. They're pushing their latest Disney movie. And here's Joel Schumacher to tell you stuff. Yeah, here he's talking about how George is 35 years old, and I felt that at 35 you should have come to terms with that, like with the parents dying and stuff. That was a bone of contention with people. It's just keep it. That's the story, that's the character, right? One of the secrets here of the Batcave, Mr. Freeze's suit is made of hammered aluminum. Oh, wow. Well, I mean, like, Schwarzenegger can carry it, right? Batgirl uses a fantastic computer. It looks almost like a school bag, but it's plastic. Yeah, well, in the future, you'll have, like, a smartphone. Secret 3, we've introduced a character who's very popular in the comics, but I think kids are gonna love him. It's Bane, yeah. And they made him an idiot, so... It's like, kids gonna love him because he's completely not correct. He looked good, though. He looked good. Here's the different Batmobiles. Well, like that's a Freeze-mobile. Of course, everything was toyetic. There's a list of holy phrases. Holy Rock Garden, Holy Snowball, Holy Escape Hatch. Here are the different rubber suits. And here's a little bit about different superheroes. That's the John Wesley ship, Flash. I love that show. It only lasted 1 season. Suit looked great, though. That's the Dean Cain Superman, of course, with the big correct S. They're slightly darker blue, but the trunks and everything are there. And, of course, that's Linda Carter as Wonder Woman. A character that was woefully, underused, and... I mean, I don't know. Hollywood has its weird biases and stuff. They should have made a Wonder Woman movie maybe like 20 or 30 years before the one we got. Here's all the tropes of superheroing and stuff. Get super, find transportation, create images, just a bunch of kid stuff to read. Hollywood superheroes. Batman may rule theaters this summer and every summer after that. But he's not the first crime fighter to leap from comic books to Hollywood. Check out these other superheroes on TV. So it's Superman, Simone, Lois and Clark. What else? Wonder Woman, of course. The new original Wonder Woman. Yeah, it's still talking about that show. The show is iconic. And this is in 1997, right? The Phantom, of course, Billy Zane's Phantom movie. The Flash, John Wesley Shipp, and The Shadow. Alec Baldwin. In the 90s, everyone dusted off their old scripts from the 80s to just cash in on the Batman 89 craze, right? So you got Shadow and Phantom. Classic Crusader, a bunch of write-ups about the 60s series because it's so iconic. Everyone still was watching these. These were playing in the 90s, still syndicated and everything. Pretty cool stuff. It's an interview with Adam West. Are you a superhero or a sidekick? Bunch of dumb kid stuff to read. Alright, another movie coming out that year, Men in Black. Will Smith was a big celebrity at the time, a big star, big box office draw. And it was a fun premise. The trailer really sold it well. So people were dying to see this. And here's a... characters that dress in dark clothes, I guess. So it's Zorro, Batman and Robin, Darth Vader. And at this point, people are excited for the new prequel coming out. They don't know what to expect, right? Like Mulder, Jackie Chan, Uncle Fester from the 90s Addams Family movies, Albert Bell, and Elvis. And here's a whole thing about Leo DiCaprio. He was a pretty big star at the time. Of course, Titanic is coming out, and he had a pretty great body of work leading up to that. No real stinkers. I always like these pictures of celebrities before they were celebrities, like when they were kids, kiddish or whatever. It looks like Tom Cruise here at number 1. So they have puns to hint at it. So it's like toothy grin, okay. They always make fun of his smile, and it would be impossible for him not to win. So it's gotta be Tom Cruise. It's Tom Hanks, the big star. Super speedsters classmates. So obviously that's Sandra Bullock. She doesn't look any different. That looks like Brad Pitt. It's funny he has no puns because he wasn't in anything iconic really. But it's like it's no big surprise that this guy went on to become Hollywood's hottest hunk. Like the hunk thing is supposed to tip you off that it's Brad Pitt. Of course, it's Rosie O'Donnell. Will Smith. This is Robin Williams. Oh, the answers are right here. So, of course, Whitney Houston, Steven Spielberg. And this is Madonna. This is like the one that looks the least like she would, because she has black hair and these big eyebrows and everything. There you go. What's this? This is Matt Hoffman, Extreme Biker. Extreme was getting big in the 90s. Everything was extreme. G.I. Joe Extreme. Was there not like Extreme Dinosaurs or something? Here's kids. What is this? 25 winners of the DA's third annual Junior Reporter Contest are in. So these are all the winners. There's a lot of them. There you go. Here's some weird facts. About 150 identical twins in the U.S. are married to identical twins. Okay. 150, that's not a lot of people. So, once your worm breeder, high hunter, takes a worm bath to... Okay, well, anyway. All this weird stuff. 8,000 known computer viruses back then, and 100 new strains break out every month. Computers, man. The internet was publicly popular in about 92, 93. So this is 97. So not that far from the dawn of the internet as we know it. The internet was around before then, but not really used by people like the general public. Here are all the terrible 90s ugly action figures at the time. Very sinewy Batman from, I think, the movie. This one as well, Robin. Here's some stuff from Total Justice. Some cartoon figures. These Legends of the Dark Knight figures. All worth nothing today. Here's some video game stuff. Zelda Link's Awakening, that's cool. Mega Man 8 for PlayStation. Mario Kart 64. Little write-ups on those. Here's some puzzles. These are activity books as well. This could occupy a kid's time for a while. More puzzles. This is fun because this is a puzzle where they zoom in close on something and you have to figure out what it is. But what's interesting to me is that this is all stuff that shortly after the 90s would go away anyways, and anyone under the age of 35 would probably have trouble with all this. So, of course, that's a car door. This is a close-up of the cradle of a phone, an old-fashioned phone, where you would put the receiver on top of these two things and it would hang up the phone. This is one of the rotary dial phones. I'm familiar with this from my childhood. Of course, hardly anyone has anything like this anymore. That's a harmonica. This is another thing. These are rabbit ears. These are TV antennas. But I know them. They were always colloquially referred to as rabbit ears. That's something that would go away quickly. I can't remember when they shut down UHF. That's a close-up of a tape from a tape deck. And that's the underside of a globe. I don't know if people even buy globes anymore. There you go. So here are the answers to the puzzles and everything. The Comic Zone is what I really loved from this magazine. In the beginning, they had comics for like all the Disney Afternoon stuff. But as time went on, they had to find new like stuff to do comics on. So this, of course, is Doug. Doug was popular at the time. Brand spanking new. So it's a total like brand new Doug comic. Very colorful stuff. Jim Jenkins. Looks just like the cartoon, too. It's a whole story. And something like Timon and Pumbaa, this would have been like a multi-page story like this, but it's reduced to one page here. They had their cartoon out at the time, too. And Bone. Bone was immensely popular in the 90s. Here, Jeff Smith's Bone is serialized in multiple Disney Adventures magazines, so they're on part 7 here. I have these anyways in various formats, like the big phone books and the like the black and whites and the old trade paperbacks and stuff. You don't really hear much about Bone anymore, but this was hugely popular in the 90s. I mean, it's in Disney magazine. I don't think it had anything to do with Disney. And just a one-page comic of just funny stuff. Coming up, Hercules. They're going to do a whole thing on Hercules, of course. Interviews, etc. Like, they got to hype up their own movie, too. They did a favorite of Batman, and I got to do their own thing, right? Here's some sort of Mattel promotion with Post. These posters. I don't remember this at all. And last but not least, a Pop-Tart commercial for Batman and Robin. I was disappointed that the Pop-Tarts didn't look like this. Like, this was made for the ad, but I was like, why wouldn't they just be bat symbols? But no, they're just regular Pop-Tarts with packaging that has characters from the movie. And that's Disney Adventures, summer 1997, featuring Batman and Robin and other cool stuff. I hope you enjoyed going through this with me. Until next time, take care.